Democrats say, hey, if you want to do the payroll tax cut, as they do, and that's going to give every American, on average, $1,000 back in their pocket. Per paycheck, again, on average, you get $38 back, okay? Now, people like that money, of course, and they immediately spend it because it goes directly to the middle class, which means that which doesn't have the luxury of saving it as the top 1% does, or reinvesting it in the stock market. So it stimulates the economy. I get that. Now, I'm against it because I think it depletes the Social Security fund, right? But having said that, if you are going to do that, the Democrats certainly have the better idea on how to fund it. Their idea is a 3.25% surtax on annual income exceeding $1 million. So this is a surtax on millionaires. Basically 3 cents on the dollar extra, and that would raise $265 billion. In fact, one of the top 1%ers, Nick Hanauer, who's been on the Young Turks before, wrote a great editorial today saying, look, that's 3 cents on the dollar. Can we afford that as millionaires? Of course we can afford that. And he's like, you got to understand something. This whole Republican propaganda is wrong. We're not the job creators. He says the middle class are the job creators, because if they don't have money to spend, then we can't do the investment. And we don't have the customers who are going to buy our stuff. The Republicans have been saying it 100% wrong. They've got it totally backwards. But of course, the Republicans don't care about creating jobs. As you're about to see, based on their new proposal. So they say, all right, if we're going to do the payroll tax cuts, the Republicans say that what we need to do is 2 different things to pay for it. Freeze federal pay through 2015 for government employees. Okay, so that means, if you're a federal employee, I'm going to take it from you. I'm not going to take it from the 1%. I'm not going to take it from millionaires. Instead, I'm going to take it from the middle class who are federal employees. But if that weren't bad enough, the second part of it is it would reduce the civilian workforce by 10%. And in total, this would save $222 billion, which, by the way, doesn't even cover the payroll tax cut. And the Democratic proposal would give you a bigger amount, right, with a simple 3% surtax on millionaires. But here's the great irony of that. So the Republicans are saying, no, we can't do a surtax on millionaires because of the job creators. So instead, we'll fire 10% of the federal workforce. But wait a minute, you just cost us jobs. Okay, so maybe the rich will hire somebody at some later point, and hence that's why they're the job creators. Now let's lay off 10% of the workforce. How does that create jobs? It doesn't. It kills jobs. But that's because, again, the Republicans, A, don't care about balancing the budget. Their proposal creates a larger deficit. Number 2, they don't actually care about tax cuts for the overall, because when it's a tax cut for the middle class, they're largely against it. And number 3, they don't care about job creation, because their program actually literally kills jobs. So that's Republican priorities versus Democratic priorities. Now, look, again, I don't love the Democratic proposal. I certainly don't love the Democratic Party, and I got a lot of issues with them. But the Republican Party is a disaster. They're not even trying to justify it anymore. They're just basically saying, who cares what the voters think? We win elections based on how much money we have. And where do we get the money? We get it from the rich. So we're just going to do their bidding, and all of logic, principles, ideology be damned. We're Republicans, and we're for the top 1%.